Good day, everyone, and mabuhay from the Philippines. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Mr. Raymond Josinco Banzuela, and I am thrilled to be here with you today as your assigned trainer for the Entrepreneur Accelerator program. I'm excited to delve into the world of marketing and branding strategies with all of you. Before anything else, let me give you a quick introduction about your trainer for today. Mr. Raymond Josinco Banzuela from the Philippines is the founder, president, and general manager of RB Business Consultancy Services, Great Idea Events Management Services, and Infinity Training Consultancy Services based here in the Philippines. He is an author, writer, business professional, educator, and multi-awarded educator and entrepreneur. He is a certified guest service professional from the American Hotel and Lodging Association, a certified food protection manager of the Canadian Institute of Food Safety, and an accredited competency assessor for the tourism and hospitality sector under the Philippines Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, and an accredited tourism trainer of the Department of Tourism and a licensed professional teacher under the Professional Regulation Commission, also here in the Philippines. So, with my experience and expertise in this field, I've had the privilege of working with various businesses and entrepreneurs, helping them develop effective marketing and branding strategies to thrive in today's competitive landscape. Marketing and branding are essential components of any successful business. They allow us to connect with our target audience, build a strong brand identity, and ultimately drive growth and profitability. So during our time together, we will explore the importance of a well-defined brand identity and how it helps businesses stand out from the crowd. We'll also dive into the process of identifying your target audience, as understanding your customers is key to crafting effective marketing campaigns. And furthermore, we'll discuss a wide range of marketing channels and tactics, both traditional and digital, that can help you reach your target audience effectively. We'll explore how to leverage social media, content marketing, and other strategies to maximize your brand's visibility and engage with your customers. And lastly, we'll touch on the importance of measuring and analyzing your marketing efforts. By tracking key performance indicator, we can gain valuable insights into what's working and what needs improvement, enabling us to refine our strategies and achieve better results. I'm here today to share my knowledge, experiences, and practical tips with you all. Feel free to ask questions, share your thoughts, and participate actively throughout our session. Let's make this a collaborative and enriching learning experience. I am really excited to guide you through the world of marketing and branding strategies, and I am confident that by the end of our time together, you'll have a solid understanding of how to effectively promote and position your business in the market. So let's get started. So let's start with the concept of marketing versus branding. What is the difference these two concepts? It might be challenging to stay informed about all the terms used while starting a business because there are so many of them. Furthermore, branding and marketing are two ideas in particular that are subject to being combined. So, what's the difference between marketing versus branding? Actually, there are significant differences between the two concepts of branding and marketing. You must comprehend the key differences between the two and how to apply each one to advance your company if you want it to succeed. So, What exactly is branding? What's marketing? What are the difference between the two? And how can you use both to build a successful, impactful business? So first thing first, before we jump into the difference between marketing and branding, let's first cover what exactly marketing and branding are. So marketing is defined as the set of tools, processes, and strategies you use to actively promote your product, service, and company. Think of marketing as the actions you take to connect with your customers and get them to buy your products or services. On the other hand, branding is the marketing practice of actively shaping your brand. Branding is about defining who you are as a company. It's your mission, your values, and what makes you special and unique. It's your key brand elements like your logo, your website, and your brand style guidelines. If marketing is what gets people to engage with your company for the first time, branding is what keeps them coming back for years to come. So think of think of it like this. If your brand, um, for example, if your brand was a Big Mac, your branding would be the special sauce, and your marketing would be anything and everything you do to get your customers excited to take a bite, like in the commercials, social media ads, and other campaigns. So, all right. Now, that we know what they are, let's talk about the differences or the key differences between marketing and branding. While marketing is used to promote your product or service, branding is used to actively shape your brand. And of course, to use actively shape your brand and who you are, you need a strategy for both, and they have different goals in different results. So, number one is marketing can be a great way to get a customer's attention, but branding is a great way to keep their attention. It's likely that in any field, you're simply one business among many competitors. And marketing is a huge necessity if you want to stand out and attract customers. However, after you've got a customer's interest, you need to do something to maintain it. This is where branding comes into play. Building a brand that people can uh, connect with is essential if you want to maintain your brand's visibility in the marketplace. While marketing can help your brand stand out from the competition and attract the correct customers, you also need to establish a brand that people can get behind. So, in summary, therefore, in order to differentiate your brand from the competition and tell your clients, hey, here I am. But in order to build a relationship, establish a lasting connection and keep people coming back after that first hello, you need branding. All right. So the second one is the marketing drives sales. Branding drives recognition and loyalty. Most marketing methods, such as SEO, content marketing, and advertising, are fundamentally designed to produce outcomes. These results are or almost always related to sales, which is great. Of course, you need to increase sales if you want your business to succeed. However, branding adopts a different strategy that is longer term. If your goal is to increase revenue, branding isn't the ideal answer. However, this is the ideal option. If your goal is to increase brand awareness, generate a favorable brand sentiment, and cultivate customer loyalty, all of which are equally, if not more, significant than driving sales over the long term. So when it comes to sales, think of marketing as a sprint, while branding, that's more likely a marathon. All right. So another difference is that branding comes first and marketing comes second. You know the old saying, which come first, the chicken or the egg? Well, if we're talking about the business version of that saying, it would probably be more along the lines of which comes first, branding or marketing. So when it comes to developing your company, branding always takes first over marketing. And with good justification, a brand that you haven't yet created cannot exactly be marketed, isn't it? So before you even think about putting a marketing strategy in place, you need to focus on your branding. Who are you as a brand? What do you want to bring to the marketplace? What are your core values? And most importantly, how are you going to communicate that to your target customers? It makes sense to consider marketing only when you have the answer to those questions. Because once your identity is established, you'll have a clearer idea of who you are, who your target market is, and how to connect with them. You can then develop a marketing strategy that really makes that happen. Excuse me. So the fourth one is marketing strategies come. Marketing strategies come and go, but branding is forever. Please understand that successfully promoting your business is a must if you are hoping to create a profitable enterprise. However, the methods you employ to advertise your company are temporary. Everything, every marketing strategy has a definite start, middle, and end. Branding is not the same. No matter where you are in the business cycle, you will always be trying to figure out what your corporate identity is, how your audience perceives your brand, and how to build a more meaningful, deeper relationship with your clients. You must adapt and grow your branding to reflect the growth and evolution of your business. So, in summary, marketing methods will change over time, as they should. But what about branding? A brand never fades. All right. And the last one is branding has just as much of an impact on your team as it does on your customers. Whoever develops and executes your marketing initiatives will be part of your team. However, your marketing won't really have an effect on them outside of that, which is, their job. But your branding, that's an entirely different story. Your team may benefit from your branding just as much as your customers may. Employees need to believe in your brand just as much as customers do in order for you to conduct business. Your staff will be more devoted to and passionate about their work when you develop a brand that they genuinely believe in. Your company will prosper because they'll put in a lot of effort push themselves and contribute their finest ideas. Your team is in charge of creating your marketing plan. But if you want to grow your company, you also need to build a brand that inspires enthusiasm among your employees. Now that we are aware of the distinctions between branding and marketing in the running of a business, it would seem from our conversation that branding must come first to ensure that our customers will find our goods and services enjoyable and that our business will continue to exist. By doing this, we can ensure that customers continue to enjoy our goods and services forever. So, to what extent does branding matter in our business? What are our tactics to ensure that customers enjoy our goods and services? How can we create a powerful brand? And what precisely are our company's goals and objectives for the benefit of your stakeholders and your product consumers? Let's now discuss branding. So the importance of branding. Your brand is arguably one of your organization's most important assets. It gives your organizations an identity, makes your business memorable, encourages consumers to buy from you, supports your marketing and advertising, and brings your employees pride. So branding has many benefits. Number one, influencing purchasing decision. Branding can be the deciding factor for consumers when they make a purchase decision. In fact, in 2021 Fish study found that 82% of surveyed customers buy from brands that stand for a greater mission or purpose. Around 67% says the brands they buy from make them a better person. The second one is it creates an identity for your business. A brand extends beyond a company's product or service. Branding gives your business an identity. It gives consumers something to relate to and connect with beyond the products or service they're actually purchasing. The third one is it helps customers remember your business. You know, effective branding establishes your company's identity. It helps customers recognize it across all platforms and makes your organization unique. Boosting advertising and marketing. So, in order to provide your campaign that an extra boost of awareness and impact, branding assists your marketing and advertising activities. And the last one, it builds employee support. Strong branding attracts strong people. When you brand your organization, you're not just giving it as a specific identity, but also establishing a respectable, highly regarded environment. Now, let's talk about how to create brand. Brands are about perception, communication, aspiration, and identity. In the simplest terms, a brand is a consolidation of what people think, their perception of you, your product, or service. So, what a brand means to you has a lot to do with who you are and what the other entities or entity does. So, here, how you may build a brand. or begin the process of rebranding your firm. A brand is an investment, and developing excuse me, and developing a good one requires careful consideration of many factors. Understanding that the process of branding is continuous. Thus, as you create and develop your brand, you may find yourself going through some of these processes again. The first step is to determine your target audience. Awareness, recognition, trust, and money are the results of branding. We have discussed that, but let's stand back and consider the source of those. The customers, additionally, these clients should be members of your target audience. And according to 70% of customers, they desire a customized experience. But if you don't know who they are, how can you provide that experience? Your brand won't become well known, trustworthy, or profitable if it doesn't connect with your target market. Research on target markets can help with that. You need to know who your branding is intended for before you put pen to paper or a cursor to digital document. Who is the target market for your product? Who is your ideal customer? Why did you create your business in the first place? What you learn about your target market and buyer personas will influence your branding decision down the line. So make this step your first priority. So the second step is you have to establish your mission statement. A mission statement is a short summary of your company's purpose. A mission statement provides perfect clarity behind the what, the who, and the why of your company. The best mission statements are guidelines by which company operates. Everything you do as a company should work toward your mission statement. Why did you create your business? Answering this will help you build your mission statement. This statement defines your purpose and passion as an organization. Before you can craft a brand that your audience recognizes, values, and trusts, you must be able to show what your business has to give. Then, every part of your brand, such as your logo, your tagline, imagery, voice, and personality, can reflect that mission and vision. Your mission statement is a building block of your brand manifesto. It encompasses why your organization exists and why people should care about your brand. So the third step is to define your values, features, and benefits. Features somewhat explain what your products does. Benefits are the advantages users get from your product's features. And of course, values that are the underlying motivations that drive users to take advantage of the benefits your product offers. So there are most likely a lot of companies in your chosen field and sector. While it's simple to concentrate on your rivals, and there is a place and time for competitive analysis, let's shift our attention to you for the time being. What unique quality does your company possesses that no other company can match? Legally speaking, your trademark. Yes, your trademark. Because of this, you need to make sure that the values, advantages, and distinctive characteristic that set your business apart serve as the foundation for and serve as inspiration for your brand. Make a list of the things that make your company unique in the present, I'm not referring to the features of the product, such as its design, the composition, or functionality. I'm talking about how your goods and services make people's lives better and help them succeed. A real life brand example, like Tower 28 Beauty. You may have heard of Tower 28. They're a beauty company that went viral on TikTok in 2021. I ordered their skincare products for two reasons. They steer clear of harmful ingredients, and I trust and respect the brand. It's gorgeous. That's for example. So in their website, they've clearly and simply outlined their unique values and benefits as part of their overall brand. This makes it easy for customers like me to trust their products and choose them over competitors. All right. The fourth step is to create your visual assets. Visual branding, visual branding assets are the building blocks of how customers and audiences recognize your brand. This includes everything from your key colors to your logo and even your typography. And at this point, you should understand your target audience, your mission statement, and the unique qualities that make up your business. Can you say with confidence that you've finished these steps? If your answer is yes, it's time to move on to one of the more exciting parts of branding, the visual design. We're talking about your logo, color palette, typography or fonts, iconography, and other visual components. As you create these elements, build a set of brand guidelines or a brand style guide to govern the composition and use of your visual asset. This will ensure that whoever uses your new branding does so accurately and consistently. Check out this guide, the style guides, for some inspiration. All right. So the next step is consider the voice of your brand. What would your brand sounds like if you had a conversation with it? Or if it is texted you, brand voice is your brand personality, the unique way you present to the world. It must run consistently through all your communication, like in social media, website, blog posts, emails, advertisement, no matter which teams are handling which channels, and it mustn't change. How you communicate with your target market is also considered part of your branding. You want to define a brand voice that connects and resonates with your audience. Otherwise, they probably won't pay attention. Because of that, don't hesitate to return to step one to get familiar with to whom you're speaking. Excuse me. From your advertising campaigns and Instagram caption to your blog posts and brand story, your tone must be consistent. So give your audience a chance to get familiar with your brand and learn to recognize the sound of your voice. Better yet, create a fun, entertaining voice, and your customer will look forward to your social media and email updates. Okay. And the last step is to market your brand or putting your branding to work. Your brand only works if you do. Once you finish design and creating your new brand, or what we so called rebranding, integrate it throughout every inch of your business. Pay extra attention to make sure that it's displayed anywhere your business touches customers. So here we have here uh, some handful of tips for applying your brand across your organization. And now that we are aware of the procedures involved in developing a personal brand, let's go to promoting our company via various media. So the first one is website. You know that showcasing your brand to your prospective customers is one of the most important things that you can do. By clearly establishing who you are, what you represents, and what you stand for, you increase the chances of your customers buying from you. So this is also something that can set you apart from your competitors. Without a website, it can be incredibly challenging to do this because people can't easily find quality and reliable information on your business. 50% of the consumers believe that a business brand's website design is essential. Put your logo, your color scheme, and font all over your website. Then use only the elements that you have already specified in your brand standards. A significant component of your business identity is its website. If it doesn't represent your brand, visitors will only have a uncomfortable experience. Additionally, make sure that calls to action, product descriptions, and online copy all reflect your brands. So, another channel is social media. So, increasing brand awareness is a top goal for social marketers. According to 2022 research, all profile photos, cover art, and branded imagery should reflect your brand. Consider putting your logo as your profile photo, and this will make it easier for customers to recognize your business. As with your website, be sure all profile information, posts, and caption show off your brand voice. Another one is packaging. If you have a physical products business, your product is probably the most tangible way that customers interact with your brand. For that reason, your packaging should highlight your new branding in its design, colors, size, and feel. Real life brand example for this is the Chobani Love or Chobani yogurt. So their branding immediately tells that they produce authentic, healthy Greek yogurt. That's one of the main reason the customers buy Chobani. It makes its yogurt packaging with recyclable paper cups, an intentional decision that supports the overall experience they fear with purchasing and eating the Chobani brand. Another one is advertising. Advertising is the practice and techniques employed to bring attention to a product or service. Advertising aims to put a product or service in the spotlight in hopes of drawing it attentions from consumers. It is typically used to promote a specific good or service. Advertisement, maybe it's either digital and print, are often used to establish brand awareness and introduce consumers to your brand. In fact, according to the marketing research, 33% of marketers use paid ads to increase brand awareness. Because of this, it's critical that they display your branding. In fact, your branding should make the ad creation process easier. With your brand style guide, you already know how your ads should appear and what type of copy to write. And the last one is sales and customer service. So, When we speak of sales and customer service at the most basic level, salespeople are responsible for getting the customer in the door, while customer service agents are accountable for what happens after a sale is made. In a broader sense, though, they are both working towards achieving a single goal: creating a positive experience for customers. A brand is only as powerful as the people behind it. And if your people aren't putting your brand to work, it won't work for you. Moreover, your brand applies to more than your marketing. Inform your sales and customer service folks of your brand guidelines and tell them to use them, especially when they engage directly with customers. Whether they're sharing a branded product demo or answering customer questions, encourage them to use your logo, tagline, imagery, and brand voice. So, in the business world, we must be aware of what is happening in our environment, and we must know the terminology used in the operation. Here are some other brand related buzzwords you should know. They show the importance and value of branding your business. So, number one is the brand awareness. Brand awareness refers to how familiar the general public and your target audience are with your brand. High brand awareness leads to brands being referred to as trending, buzzworthy, or popular. Brand awareness is important because consumers can't consider purchasing from your brand if they're not aware of it. Some of the examples of brand awareness is the Coca-Cola. We all know that social media is a great place for most brands to introduce their products to their target customers. There are different methods to increase brand awareness on social media. One of them is using hashtag. Number one here is Coca-Cola's hashtag share a Coke campaign. One of the greatest brand awareness example using hashtags is this kind of product, the Coca-Cola's hashtag share a Coke campaign. Share hashtag share a Coke is a fantastic example that demonstrates how far branded hashtags, interactive content, and personalization can get your name out there. Coca-Cola launched the campaign first in Australia in 2011, which prompted users to share their own content with the Share a Coke hashtag on social media. How did how did this work? The campaign revolved around customers' love of personalization. The brand added the country's most common names on the wrapping around the Coca-Cola bottle, encouraging customers to look for a bottle with their name in store. And take note of this: every campaign on social media requires a hashtag. Therefore, it is essential to have a hashtag strategy for your brand awareness campaigns, or any other online projects. Additionally, having a dedicated hashtag for your brand can help you track who is talking about you. Another sample brand awareness using hashtag is the L'Oreal Paris hashtag worth saying campaign. Who doesn't know L'Oreal Paris? This brand is one of the most well-known cosmetic brands around the world. So you should note that brand awareness is not something you do once. Each brand should develop new ideas to attract customers and compete with other brands on the market. However, what L'Oreal did was a bit different than others. L'Oreal didn't try to sell something to its customers. Instead, it ran a campaign to empower women to talk about what they believe is important, more than just beauty. They also collaborate with top celebrities like Jennifer Lopez and Blake Lively to spread this hashtag on social media. All right. So now let's talk about the another terminology used in business, the brand extension. So what are the brand extension strategy? Its meanings, types, and examples. Brand extension are when companies extend their brand to develop new products in new industries and markets. Consider Honda lawn mowers or Martha Stewart's bedding. Brand extensions allow companies or individuals to leverage brand awareness and equity to create more revenue streams and diversify product lines. So, using a brand's name and reputation to introduce a new products or service into a different product category or market category is known as brand extension. The goal of the brand extension approach is to raise the possibility that a good or service will succeed by utilizing the brand equity of an existing brand. So we have different benefits of brand extension. So the benefits of brand extension includes the following. Number one, it increases brand awareness and recognition. So the new product or service benefits from the established reputation and recognition of the existing brand. We also have here cost savings. The cost of launching a new brand from the scratch can be significant, and brand extension allows companies to save on marketing and advertising expenses. And lastly, we also have to increase revenue, of course. Brand extension can help companies capture additional market share and generate new revenue streams. However, there are potential risks associated with brand extension, such as weakening the reputation of the current brand or confusing customers with a wide range of product options. To reduce these risks and make sure that their brand extension initiatives meet the needs of their customers and their brand positioning, businesses should thoroughly examine and evaluate their ideas. And there are two main types of brand extension strategies. Number one, when we speak of line extension, this involves introducing new products or services within the same product. The same product category or market segment as the existing brand. This is typically the easier and less risky type of brand extension, as the company can leverage its existing brand recognition and distribution channels. For example, a company that sells soft drinks may introduce new flavors or packaging options under the same brand name. Similarly, a company that sells personal care, for example, the personal care products may introduce new fragrances or formulations under the same brand name. Another is the category extension. A category extension involves introducing a new product or service in a different product category or market segment than the existing product or the existing brand, sorry. So this is the more challenging and risky type of brand extension, as it involves expanding the brand into new and potentially unfamiliar territory. For example, a company that sells athletic shoes may introduce a clothing line under the same brand name. Similarly, a company that sells home appliances may introduce a furniture line under the same brand name. So, all right, we have other types of brand extension strategies. Number one is the franchise extension that allows third-party businesses to use the parent company's brand name and business model to operate their business. This strategy is commonly used in the food and beverage industry, where companies such as McDonald's and Subway allow franchisees to run under their brand name and system. Another is the brand licensing that involves allowing other companies to use the parent company's brand name and intellectual property to manufacture and sell products under the parent company's brand. And this strategy is commonly used in the fashion industry, where companies such as Nike and Adidas license their brand name and logos to third party manufacturers who produce and sell clothing and accessories under their brand names. And the last one is the co branding that involves partnering with another company to introduce that combines the strengths and reputation of both brands. For example, a car manufacturer may partner with a luxury watch brand car that introduce
and create unique products that stand out. So there are many examples of brand extension strategies used by companies across various industries. Here are some examples. Number one is the Coca-Cola. Their uses the line extension. Coca-Cola is the classic example of line extension. The company has introduced several new flavors and packaging options over the years, including the Diet Coke, Cherry Coke, and Coca-Cola Zero. Coca-Cola marketing strategy plan and mix for fees. And another category or another brand extension is Nike. Nike has successfully extended its brand into new categories. So in addition to athletic athletic shoes, the company now sells clothing, accessories, and even technology products like fitness tracker. Nike doesn't sell shoes, it sells an idea with its marketing strategy. Another sample of category extension is the Apple. Apple has expanded its brand from personal computers to other technology products, including the smartphones, tablets, and smartwatches. And this has helped the company become one of the most valuable brands in the world. And another one is Marriott. Marriott is the well-known hotel chain that has expanded its brand through franchisee extensions. The company allows third-party businesses to operate hotels under its brand name and system. And we all know that Disney is a well-known brand. Disney has a best brand licensing program that allows other companies to use its characters and intellectual property to produce and sell products under the Disney brand. This includes everything from clothing to toys to home goods. And lastly, we have a co-branding, the Toyota and BMW. They partnered to develop and release the Toyota Supra, which features BMW's engine and technology. These co-branded products combine the strengths of both companies and helps Toyota reach a new audience. All right, now moving on to our next term commonly heard in the business market, which is the brand identity. So what is brand identity? So your company's personality and the promises you make to clients make up your brand identity. It's the message you want your audience to take away from their interactions with your business. Your ideals, the way you market your good or service, and the emotions you want customers to have when using it all make up your brand identity. A brand represents the collective perceptions of an individual, item, or company held by its target market and or clientele. Brand identity is how a business wants to be viewed, isn't it? These two concepts frequently complement one another, but they can also conflict depending on how successfully a brand is able to develop and preserve its unique character. If we go a little closer, we can see that brand identity design encompasses everything from colors and packaging to messaging and logos and typography. So the ultimate objective is to develop a written and visual ecosystem of components that support and amplify the what we so called why of your brand. Once it's created, your brand identity can serve to both draw in new business and make existing clients feel more welcome. So why is brand identity important? If you were about to interview for a big new job, you wouldn't show up in sweatpants, isn't it? You'd want to present yourself as a well put together, competent, and approachable candidate. So the same idea applies to your brand. Your brand identity is the face of your businesses, and you want to put your best face forward for your audience. Along with building credibility and trust, a strong and consistent brand design should also give people insight into what your brand is all about. For example, do you use bright pastel colors to convey a cheerful, playful tone, or do you employ detailed line art in your logo to imply an artisanal level of quality? When you're thinking about what you want your brand identity design to look like, consider what it feel like as well. So to give you a better idea of what we mean, take a look at one of the brilliant example of brand identity. When you're designing your own brand identity, there's no need to start from scratch. Here are just a few examples of great brand identity design to get some inspiration from. And while it's important to create something that's uniquely your own, there's nothing wrong with taking a note from some of the greats. Like here, Kodak. Sometimes the best rebrands happen when you go back to your roots. In 2006, the company had already eliminated the big red K block in favor of a simpler word mark. But then they decided to reverse the decision. Using fresh sans serif font, they were able to create a simple and fresh new take on their logo and typography. It just goes to show that sometimes the smallest of changes can have a big impact. We love how easy these guidelines make it to view the history of Kodak's branding, along with the when, how, why to use each design. So now that we've taken a closer look at some great example of brand identity design, let's delve let's dive into the 7 elements that you'll need to build a brand identity your audience will love. Okay, so number one is establish a clear purpose and position. The first part of establishing a brand identity is determining your purpose and goals. Brand purpose is the why behind everything you do. Why does my brand exist? Why is my product or service better than the competition? Why does our brand look, feel, communicate the way it does? So according to Ariel Jackson, startup founder and Google veteran, your purpose is how you want to change the world for the better. Jackson's also recommends this diagram as a guide for determining your purpose. Jackson describes the diagram as follows. Cultural tension is represented by one circle. This is the world news that you should be aware of. The best version of your brand is shown in the opposite circle. This is what your business excels at producing. Jackson states the big deal or your purpose is where these two regions converge. All right. So for a great example of a succinct, tangible corporate purpose, let's check out this statement from Apple. Apple's 100,000 employees are dedicated to making the best products on earth and to leaving the world better than we found it. All right, not too bad. Additionally, you should keep brand position or brand positioning. The distinct value your brand offers your audience, some serious, some serious thought. Consider this to be the elevator pitch for your brand. Everything you do here, like choosing a color scheme, excuse me, and creating a logo, will shape your approach. Putting your purpose into action is the process of brand positioning. To zoom out, you'll set up your brand to achieve its goal by identifying your target market and setting yourself out from the competitors. Research on consumers and the market can and should, which is the next step, is inform a brand's positioning and goal, at least somewhat, to comprehend the cultural tension mentioned in the previous section. Research is essential. So there is a lot of information available online to assist those new market research in getting started. Talking to a lot of people is often one of the greatest way to carry out market research. Phone interviews, for instance, provide your teams the chance to conduct in-depth human-driven conversation with your clients. This could be useful if you're trying to emotionally connect with your audience. Beyond phone interviews, quick and easy ways to collect a lot of data are through online survey platform such as SurveyMonkey. Don't forget to look into accessible government resources too, like this helpful toolkit from the U.S. Small Business Association. So in addition, thorough market research can assist you in identifying your primary client profiles, which are slightly different idea than the target customers. Your customer personas go beyond simply listing the issues a customer faces and delve in the specifics of your focus customers' character traits, both personal and professional. Our second point is that by defining these characteristics, you'll be able to determine the personality your brand needs to have in order to attract customers. So, if your brand were a person, what would they be like? This is a clever technique to consider brand personality, even though it may sound a little corny. Your brand's personality will come through in every aspect of your identity if you get it just right. So the voice and tone you employ in your marketing materials and other communications are significantly influenced by your brand personality. Why does this matter? If you haven't created your brand's personality, your customers may receive conflicting messages and may find it difficult to relate to your brand on an emotional level. So if you're having a hard time getting started, here's an exercise to try. Let's say, which celebrities or fictional character best represent your brand? Is there an actor or actress, musician, or public personality that embodies the same traits as your brand? This could be a good starting point for nailing down different aspects of your brand's personality. After you have visualized your brand's personality and enumerated some of its qualities, it helps to consider how your voice and tone will bring your brand to life. So here is how we define Mark Q's brand personality. So how did we do? All right. So your logo is central to your brand identity design. It's the face of your brand identity that most people will be exposed to. It needs to line up with all the other elements of your brand identity and the broader emotional appeal of your brand. A few guidelines Mark Q CEO Owen Fuller suggests on making a logo with an impact. It must be, you have to make it memorable. Are there unique elements, color, that make it stand out? Make it simple. Can the third grader draw it? Make it versatile. Can you apply it across multiple mediums and channels? Make it evocative. Does it make you something? And make it timeless. Will it work as your brand grows? So for example, we all know this logo. Disney has built a brand that evokes nostalgia and magic. The playful script oozes creativity and fun, which tracks with the overall brand Disney has established over the decades. A memorable brand is often the simplest brand. So let's take a look at the logos of the world's top 3 brands, according to Kantar. What do all three have in common? Intentionality in color, design, and simplicity. Speaking of simplicity, choosing a simple logo makes it easier to apply to different mediums, whether you're designing for a product, digital marketing, or print. Actively designing with every channel in mind will ensure a successful logo development from the very start. Your brand colors have a lot of emotional resonance and are frequently just as memorable as the logo design. If you're having trouble deciding which color scheme best reflects your brand, try researching color theory dynamics. Many aspects of color psychology are straightforward. For example, red and yellow represent passion and activity, whereas blue expresses peace of mind. You can change that emotion by adjusting the tint or shade of a color. A color combined with the white produces a tint, and a color combined with black produces a shade, while a darker shade of blue frequently reflects trust, an effect that many banks employ in their color schemes. A lighter shade of blue typically expresses peace. So designers should choose a collection of primary and secondary colors to be utilized for particular reason when designing a functional color palette. Staying consistent with this palette is crucial. The more you utilize it in the same way, the more you'll be able to establish brand equity over time. However, be advised that cultural interpretation of color might vary greatly. For instance, whereas yellow is frequently associated with happiness and brightness in the United States, in the regions such as Egypt and Latin America, it is associated with loss and sorrow. So make sure that colors you choose to utilize have no unintentional connotations if your company intends to conduct business abroad. A few more consideration on picking a great color scheme. Make sure your palette has enough contrast when paired with text. This ensures all your marketing materials are easy to read and accessible. Double check that your palette reinforces the emotion you want to evoke if your brand is all about health and well-being. Strong colors like burgundy or magenta might be at odds with your intended brand identity designs. So selecting a font that complements your logo and colors will make you look good rather than worrying about finding the perfect one, which could make people think you're a topography nerd. Fonts have strengths. Even when taken out of context, the most well-known fonts can still be recognized. A primary typography that complements your logo and color scheme should be the focal point of your brand design. It should be straightforward, just like your color scheme and logo. Here are a few tips to keep in mind when choosing brand fonts. Don't use overlay intricate fonts that are hard to read. Provide font guidelines for headlines and body text. Don't ever use more than two font families on a single document. If it feels like it's too much, it's probably too much. Do mix contrasting fonts such as a serif and a sans serif. Give guidelines on font size and line length in your brand guide. So for example, here are several fonts pairings that work well together. All right, the final step in creating a brand identity is to build an extended visual language with supporting graphics, designs, assets, iconography, and photographs. See how meticulously Google explained their approach to icon design in their visual assets guidelines. They cover a whole range of brand design consideration like a reducive or flat approach, a preference for geometric shapes, icon always paste front, straight hard shadows are as opposed curved, soft ones, standard background colors, icon aligned to the pixel grid, icon padding according to shape. So yeah, Google pays great attention to their extended visual language. So you can recognize a Google icon when you encounter one. And you may get a better understanding of what possible graphic aspects could work for your brand by looking through other brand visual guides. So another terminology that's commonly used in the business operation is the brand management. Brand management refers to the process of creating and maintaining your brand. It includes managing the tangible elements of your brand, like the style guide, the packaging, color palette, and the intangible elements, how it's perceived by your target audience and customer base. Your brand is a living, breathing asset, and it should be managed as such. Brand management is a broad term used to describe marketing strategies to maintain, improve, and bring awareness to the wider value and reputation of a brand and its products over time. A strong brand management strategy helps to build and nurture closer relationships with its audience. Building a strong and favorable reputation for a brand is the primary objective of brand management, and this will lead to higher market shares and sales. These methods allows businesses to give their goods and services as a unique identity in the marketplace. So, another term we have to consider is the brand recognition. It is how well a consumer, ideally in your target audience, can recognize and identify your brand without seeing your business name through your logo, tagline, jingle, packaging, or advertising. This concept goes hand in hand with brand recall, which is the ability to think of a brand without any visual or auditory identifiers. So, the degree to which clients and consumers believe in your brand is known as brand trust. That's one of the terminology commonly used in our business operation. Are you keeping your marketing pledges? Does your customer service and sales staff go above and beyond? These actions can foster customer trust, which is crucial in society where only 14% of people have faith in big firms. Brand trust can be vital differentiation between consumers choosing your brand's products or service over another company's. Brand trust is usually affected by the quality of products and services provided, the third-party positive reviews the brand receives, its cost quality ratio, its customer service, both quality and speed. So a great customer service is about understanding customer problems or queries and finding the best solution as efficiently as possible. It's about creating a customer experience that exceeds their needs and wants, consistently anticipating how they feel and understanding what drives them to you in the first place. So you can fulfill that expectation every time. So great customer service might be a quick and simple solution, or it might require a lot of an agent's time. It depends on the task in hand, and it's important to realize that there is no one size fits all. It is important to also understand that you can over service a customer. Understanding what is adequate helps to provide at level of service that ensures operational efficiencies without diminishing loyalty. And another one is how brands handle their business from political or philanthropic perspective, how brand treats its employees, how secure customers' data is, a consistent customer experience. When we speak of customer experience, it is an increasingly popular term in business, especially when it comes to long-term strategy and planning. Customer experience refers to how a customer perceives your brand based on their exposure to it. Customer experience experience is the sum total of someone's perception of your organization. Unlike customer service or customer relationship management, customer experience does not map neatly to a single area of your business. So, as I mentioned earlier, understanding a customer's concern or inquiries and quickly finding the appropriate answer are the key components of providing excellent customer service. It's about delivering a customer experience that exceeds the requirements and wants, consistently predicting how they feel and understanding what drives them to you in the first place so you can fulfill that expectation every time. How do you understand your customers on a deeper level so you can provide better customer service? So the key is to capture, track, and analyze the following customer insight like emotion. How do customer feels about your brand? What emotion drove them to their potential purchase? When they reach out to you, how can you transform negative feelings into positive ones? And another is exerting efforts. How hard is it for them to buy from you? What level of effort will put them off making a purchase? And of course, the sentiment. What is the underlying views of the customers? When they contact you, what is the real meaning behind their words? Intention. What do they intend to do? So these aspects of your customer interaction will help you to deliver excellent customer service. So what does a great customer service look like? So your whole organization works together. A consistent interaction across the business with each informed by existing customer data help your audience feel more connected to your brand. It's not just the responsibility of your customer service team. It's on every employee to contribute. Another one is there's excellent customer service on every channel. Your customers have preference for which channels they use for specific tasks. You'll need a multi-pronged approach to meet them where they are and offer an unforgettable experience. Let us customer choose how they want to be served. Excellent customer service doesn't necessarily mean talking to a person. It's sometimes customers prefer to look for an answer themselves. Free up your customer service reps with streamlined self-service option and allow your team to work on the priority issues. And of course, your customer service representatives are friendly, knowledgeable, and understanding. Your customer support teams need to show that they're friendly, have deep product knowledge, and understand where customers are coming from, no matter where they meet your audience. These are the basic customer service skills that will drive customer loyalty. And lastly, your brand should be actively listened. Your customer service experience is enhanced by listening to the voice of the customer and what customers are implicitly telling you. Show you care by accepting their input and taking action, and see your brand reputation rise as a result. So let's moving on to the next and I think the last slide that I have show you. So how to bring tips or branding tips for the small businesses. Number one is treat your brand like a person. So consider your brand like a person to help you better understand the branding process. Your brand needs to have an experience, how it is remembered, a personality, how it acts, and an identity. Who is it? All right. So ask yourself first, ask yourself These questions about your brand. How would your brand introduce itself? If it had to describe its appearance, how would it do so? How would your brand talk about your products or services? Would it be serious and professional, or would it be humorous and edgy? What would someone says about your brand after meeting it for the first time? What are a few sentences they use to describe it? So the purpose of branding is to create relationships with your customers. The easiest way to do this is to treat your brand as a person and understand that you want your customers to do the same. The second one is you have to prioritize the consistency. Authenticity is what 88% of customers look for in brands they support. Building trust and demonstrating your genuine values to customers are two reasons why consistency is so important for branding. Without it, you run the risk of unintentionally confusing your customers and undermining your brand. Brands that are valued and well known concentrate on consistency and enjoy the rewards. Create a consistent brand presence over all platforms and media. This facilitates your customers' gradual familiarization, recognition, and preference, building process with your brand. Guidelines for brand can support this endeavor. The third one is build and follow a brand strategy. Your brand rules are just one aspect of a brand strategy. It's a strategy with definite long-term objectives that your group can meet as your brand develops. These objectives usually center on the competitive landscape, employee involvement, emotion, flexibility, and purpose of your brand. Recall that I mentioned branding is ongoing process. It requires a lot of work. You may make that procedure into a well-oiled routine that propels your brand toward recognition and achievement with the aid of a brand strategy. And number four, don't let inspiration turn into imitation. The analysis of competitors is crucial, so it can provide you with suggestions on how to further differentiate or enhance your brand, in addition to providing you with information about where your competitors are at and how they are doing. However, exercise caution to avoid uh, falling victim to ruse. Limit the scope of your competitive study and concentrate on the advantages that your company offers. You are under no need to adopt a competitor's branding strategy just because they have done so. Brands that are novel, distinct, and thought-provoking are remembered. And the last one is use branding to hire. Your staff will feel proud of your strong branding. I'm glad to be uh, yes, your staff will feel proud of your strong brand. And set aside some funds for employers branding if hiring is a top priority for a company. Employer branding is the process of promoting your business to prospective hires and current staff members. So others will share your pride in your organization if you show it in public. So, yes, your company's name, logo, color, scheme, voice, and imagery are all parts of its branding. There's more to it as well. It's the ethereal sensation that consumers receive when they engage with your brand. that experience we discussed at the beginning. So that's how the most influential brand differ from everyone else. Beautiful logos, catchy taglines, genuine manifestos, and distinct brand voices are all important. But really great brands flourish when they concentrate on the bigger pictures of their business. A good brand will emerge if you can connect with both your target market and your company on a deep level. All right, so thank you all for attending this session on marketing and branding strategy. I hope you found the information and insight shared to be valuable and useful for your organization. Um, Remember, marketing and branding are essential components of building a successful business. It is crucial to understand your target audience, differentiate yourself from competitors, and create a strong brand image that resonates with your customers. As you chart your marketing and branding strategies, take time to analyze market trends, clearly define your objectives, and develop a comprehensive plan that aligns with your business goals. Adaptability and innovation are key in today's rapidly changing market, so it's important to stay up to date with emerging technologies and consumer preference. Don't underestimate the power of cohesive and consistent branding across all touch points. A strong brand identity builds trust, enhances customer loyalty, and sets you apart from your competitors. And remember to communicate your brand values and unique selling propositions effectively to your target audience. And lastly, remember that marketing and branding strategies are not set in stone. It's essential to track your results, gather feedback, and adapt your strategies accordingly. Keep experimenting, learning, and refining your approach to continually improve and stay ahead of the curve. Thank you once again for your active participation, and I wish you all the best in your marketing and branding endeavors. Remember, a well executed strategy can truly make a difference in your business success. Thank you very much.